How you
Yeah,
doing, brother?
good, good. How are you?
Oh, it's been a long time. I missed you. I'm excited to catch up with you.
How do you still are you father yet or no?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, yes. When did that happen?
Monday of last week, so a
Oh,
week.
it's been a while. Okay, I'm a little
Yeah.
late. How was your sleep? Are you the lucky
Oh,
one?
no, no, I am lucky. I'm very lucky. Yeah, my daughter sleeps well, and my
Uh,
wife is such a good mother. It's unbelievable. I barely have to do anything, to be honest. I'm too.
a lot of girls do. A lot of girls seems to like all the friends that I know. Their girls been good. They yelling and screaming like a little after, but the first year they're like sleeping.
Yeah, but I have some friends that they don't sleep at all, so they really get to them. But to be honest with you, last night she woke me up at 3 in the morning, and I stayed awake because I had podcasts in the morning. I recorded some videos, and I just took a nap because I have two. I have this podcast and then another one at night. I was like, how am I gonna do this, man? People age a lot when they have kids for this reason, I think.
That's how you know. Like you look at some people, they're like 30s to the kids and 30s to the other kids. It's two different people. They never look the same unless you're like super wealthy and somebody takes care of your kid. If you're a real like mother, you're doing it yourself. There's two different. The 30-year-olds always look different. Like there's you can see it like right at that age.
When I was younger, I used to be very selfish when I was like 20 or whatever. I said I'm only gonna have kids if I'm very wealthy because then I can have assistants or whatever to take nannies. But you're right. If you're rich, you don't have to spend as much time. But the issue becomes your closeness to the child and so on.
Yeah. Well, it's more like, stress type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's stress and plus, yeah, I mean, my point is I just don't want to be one of the guys that have no money and then have kids, right? That's kind of like boring. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I know people. I actually know the truth. Most people have it by the accident anyway. Like, yeah, no, be prepared.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, you're not. No, it was an accident. You have no business having kids. Otherwise, or in your life situation, no, like no. So I wanted to be like just. I don't want to be wealthy to where everybody takes care of my kids, but I just want to be like stable. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to do.
Now, this is an interesting. I appreciate your perspective. It's interesting though. In Arabic culture, in Islamic culture particularly, they have a mentality that if you have kids, bounty will come. You'll get wealth. Which is it's like force yourself to need wealth and then go make it.
I know because I grew up living in a building that used to be like not a dorm, but it used to be a building. It's a big thing in Russia where just people kind of room together because they have to kind of thing. Yeah. So I grew up, 90% of my building were like Muslims, Azerbaijan people from Dagestan.
Dagestan.
Always, 10 kids, 12 kids.
You know what's funny about Dagestanis that not many Russians know? The Arabs and the Jews both come from around Albania, Dagestan. We're actually cousins of them genetically. We both belong to the same haplogroup. So not only did they become Muslim later, but they originally are the cousins of the Arabs. In fact, I don't know if you know, they have sharp noses sometimes, some slightly similar.
Yeah. The ethnicity stuff is always funny. It's like Americans try to call me Slav, and I'm like, you don't know what Slav means. Like, yeah, I'm from Russia. I'm the furthest thing from the Slav.
Really? You're not Slavic?
Genetically Slavic people has to have blonde hair, light color eyes. Genetically, I don't look like a Slav. I'm some type of Turk Jew thing. The traditional Slav, different face structure, different nose, different everything, different hair. You know what I mean? Like a true Slav is very difficult, very different.
Dennis Siplenkov kind of look, right? He's
no, I'll ask my coach to give because he'll like to give me because he's like historian and he like this stuff. He'll give me some examples. He has some arm wrestlers that he will know. I will not know because Dennis is from Ukraine. I mean, you have to picture more like a blondish hair type dude. I think like kind of like a Nazi look dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Good old white guy.
On that topic, how's our friend doing that was arrested in Russia? Is he okay?
I have not seen the news. I have not seen the news of any kind, good or bad. So I can't really fulfill there. So, but I mean, hopefully it's all good.
Artem, you have to do me a favor because the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I've been totally out of it. I haven't caught up on arm wrestling videos. But it seems like a lot happened in that time. So I missed the John Brzenk chance. Okay, I watched a couple of the matches. Okay, tell me what's your impression of John Brzenk returning to the scene? I think he faced Chance, and then I think Paul Lynn. He may be facing Paul Lynn.
Yes, which is a weird one. I feel like Chance is much stronger than Paul, so I think them pulling Paul is just kind of to make an event out of it, right? I don't really think, because like Chance, if them pulling Chance, I don't really know. I didn't feel like that was a publicity stunt of any kind, but they're both hyped. But I don't know, I believed in Chance, right? That's why I took my own money. I flew there just to watch the shit, right?
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I have no plans, nothing. I told my buddy Brandon, the guy from my intro, I'm like, yo, Brandon, want to fly? It's like 140 from Orlando. Like, yeah, where we're staying. I'm like, I have no idea. We'll figure it out. 24 hours before that, we had no idea where we're staying, where we're going. We ended up in a different state. We're in Maryland. The thing is in West Virginia. I'm calling Travis and I'm like, Travis, I booked this airport as you told me to. It's 2 hours from the thing. Where do I go? He gave me some contacts. Didn't work. But we ended up finding a guy named TJ who picked us up, let us stay at his house, drove us to the thing. So it worked out very well, but we had nothing planned. So
that's fun.
The energy was great. I've witnessed a line of people taking pictures with John. I've seen stuff like that, but
it's growing.
In arm wrestling tournament, John tries to walk somewhere, and not like there's people taking pictures. There's a line of 10 people and more. One person takes pictures, more comment. They're forming a line to take pictures with John. So I talk to John because I don't want to be an addition, right? I had the pleasure to stay at John's house. I've drank beers with his dad. His dad ended up like sleeping in the bathtub. We had an amazing night.
Wow.
Yeah. So
for those that don't know, John Brzenk's father was also an arm wrestler, just for people. And his brother also. Yeah.
I was so drunk with those IPAs that we're drinking. I'm like
he loves that Lagunita, something like that. I went and bought that IPA because of John. I was like, what does this taste like? I have to try this. It's a strong beer. That's not really beer. That's like like something else.
I'm like, I have it today. I'm like, so Mr. John Brzenk Sr., what does it feel like to be a father of John Brzenk? I wanted to know. Like, I was like, brave is my questions. I had amazing night. So, I always try to, if there's a big collapse of people and there's somebody famous, I'm trying to be the last guy because I already know.
You don't want to bother them.
Yeah, so I waited till the last second. Then I, talked to John, got to interview him and got to see that. And yeah, I mean, I love that match. The energy was great. John, John is a legend, right? It was impressive to see Chance committing to something, right? Because Chance is not like a fighter, right? As Travis said, Travis is not a fighter too. Travis is, as what Travis called himself, he's a skilled arm wrestler, right? Travis doesn't fight. Travis will go and hit. If it doesn't work, he just lets it go, right? That's why he's so like good and like not injured as he's
not injured.
Because the only wars he really had like was with Jerry Carteret back in the days where they would be in the fight for minutes. But after that, Travis hits you. If he doesn't get a pin, it's not really a war. He just gives it out. Same with Chance. Chance is always hitting people and kind of giving up. And last match, Chance and John. So me and my buddy Brandon there, right? I'm just filming. Brandon knows what the because me and Brandon, we were the first practice that Chance ever came to, right? Chance came to us with no knowledge, trying to break his arm, awful technique, has no potential as far as the technique goes, right? Great power though.
He was always strong?
Yeah, he was
like natural strength, huh?
Not like I wouldn't say he had like amazing strength, right? Because nowadays, I've been arm wrestling for 8 years. There's a guys that been arm wrestling for a couple of months. They can beat me at practice, right? Like, and Chance was not really doing that, but he had potential. Like, he was strong enough to, to gain a lot of power really quick, right? So he was super passionate about it. So yeah, that was kind of important for me because Chance, I've seen Chance on his first day. And it was cool to see him pulling John, right? Like I was happy. Brandon, I know, was a little jealous, but last match, him and John, Chance stops him or whatever, the match stops, and Chance is like, he's kind of shaking his head, like he's no, like it doesn't go anywhere. He just give up, and kind of like, Chance show matter. And Brandon is like, no, like you have to try to do something, like rip your arm off, right? Chance goes in a split. You can kind of see it. You can see all of it goes down. You cannot see it if you just watch it, right? But if you come back, if you guys are watching it, go to the last round, you will see what I'm talking about. Chance is kind of about to give up. Brandon yelling, rip your arm off. Rip your arm, like you can't just give up. Chance goes from like normal, safe position, about to lose, to committing to actually break his arm, right? That's like, if that's what needs to be done, I'm going to do this, right? Brandon looks at this, confirms. I have like little rush with them. It's so exciting. Brandon sees it, understands that Chance can fight. Chance has a spirit. Chance showed his heart by about to commit to break his arm off completely, and Brandon's like, all right, you're done. Like it's good. Like no, like don't, like Brandon was just doing it because Chance will not normally do that. Chance Brandon actually committed to break his arm off, and Brandon's like, no, it's okay. Like if you prove your point, I believe you. And then you see, it's all like within 2-3 seconds. You can hear Brandon's yelling. You can see Chance's position changing. And then when Brandon's like, it's okay, we're done here. And then Chance changes the position as John hits him in his arm. Like if Chance's position was where it was like 1.5 seconds before John beats him in that angle, he was breaking his arm.
Wow, I'm gonna go rewatch this. I didn't realize that.
Just watch the last round. Try to hear for Brandon's voice. You can see it on my angle of Brandon like showing signs.
You have it on your channel?
I have it on my thing. Yeah, it's like I can send you a link. But
no, I'll go check it out. Of course. No, I need to catch up on your videos. Also, I saw that you made a few interesting videos, but it's just been because of the baby and all that. But hey, a couple of comments. First of all, Chance has a cool name. I noticed in America they have this name Chance. I never heard it before. It sounds so cool. Chance, like probability. Like a chance. I think that's where it's from. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's such a cool name.
It's a short, right? Full name is Chancellor.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that was like that name is too cool. How did that?
It's like buddy of mine on Facebook, Corey Dupay. He named his kid Chase Danger.
Oh, really?
Chase Danger. I love this. It's gonna be the coolest kid ever.
Actually, Brendan Schaub, this MMA guy, he has a podcast. I realized I've been watching it recently. His son is called Tiger, which is a very cool name. Just straight up Tiger. We have that in Arabic also. My cat's called Tiger in Arabic.
I feel like Arabic people do that. I know. Yeah, Arabic people. I've grew with people that name like Sultan. Right, which is like I don't think Sultan is a name in America, but in Russia, I mean Arabic means like it's a king, right? Yeah. So Sultan and something else.
Oh, my name in Arabic literally it's Laith. It means literally lion. That's why I go by Leo. It literally means lion.
Oh, okay.
Like literally, and there's actually a famous Arabic warrior. His name was Nimr, which is tiger. Nimr bin Adwan, if any Arabs are listening to this. Yeah, anyway, the second thing I want to comment on, I went to West Virginia before. It was so, West Virginia is like the most conservative state or second most conservative state in the US. It's a very interesting place.
I can see that. I've been to West Virginia many times. I've been there at least 3-4 times staying at Travis's house. So I've been to West Virginia strip clubs.
No way. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, the ghetto strip clubs.
I was filming there. I can send you pictures and videos. It's crazy.
You have to. Monday I should travel with you guys there. I would really want to see that place again. I went in undergrad, we had like a conference. I was in a history society presenting a history paper. And so my teacher said, we have this conference in a nearby state. I didn't know much about America. They said West Virginia. I thought it's Virginia. So we drove there and I was like, wait.
I think this is some FBI shit, right?
Yeah, this is a completely different state. This is a really cool place. I realized quickly. All right. The third thing I want to tell you is, so John, the one thing is, I'm so happy John is, arm wrestling, of course. I know he has so much pain. So he's so limited because of the shoulder, right? So he has to, and he's an artist, he's able to do it even without the shoulder and with all that pain. But the one thing is, I don't know. I have no right to talk about this, but he's like a hero of mine. So I get sad sometimes if I see like someone can beat him because we know that, 25-year-old John or 35-year-old John would just smash everybody. But so for me, it's bittersweet. I like to see him arm wrestle, but I don't like to see him lose at all.
Yeah, but see, like, I feel I get what you're saying, right? You don't want to see like a really shitty comeback, but because your opinion didn't change. Like what Alexei did, right? Alexei was praised by everybody, but now he's like laughing stock because of what he did to himself, kind of is what he was saying, weird stuff, right? So yeah, you want to see a good comeback or something of that nature. But I feel like John has proved himself so many times. He's done so many comebacks. So at this point, if he loses or trashes arm wrestling or whatever, like, I think
you're right.
John is so deep.
And they choose good matches.
Sport. Yeah, and we're in a unique sport where it's like, I feel like it's hard for us, unless you do something like what Alexei did. It's hard. Like, John is the true GOAT, and he's staying there, and he's going to be staying there. Doesn't matter if who he loses at this point, right? I feel like John is so unique. He's the only one, and he's so deep into the thing. It's funny you said about his shoulder. I like what Todd Hutchings said. Todd Hutchings like to talk shit about, like, John's shoulder because, like, John has the shoulder problems because was John always preached in arm wrestling that he's all about table time, no gym, nothing. And Todd was like, well, yeah, he never worked the shoulders. The muscle never been.
GM press. He needs that GM press.
Well, GM press, elbows and all. But the point is that John never built the muscle strength or, like, just building his core in the gym, and it shows, right? That's kind of Todd's theory. And I'm like, you know what?
But think about this too. Like,
doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, but Todd got in. I think Todd got in like frequent arm wrestling when he was older. And John, imagine the number of hours John has competed in tournaments over his lifetime. Imagine the number of times his shoulder went out external rotation. Every time there's a slight damage on it, and maybe John is prone to autoimmune conditions like arthritis, what we're going to talk about here, where you have a little bit of shoulder damage, but then your immune system reacts to that and attacks the joint. So, but I don't know what the real reason is. Honestly, John's shoulder pain scared me a lot when I was arm wrestling because he used to say like he can't sleep at night from it, and I was like, God, I don't want to cripple I already have knee issues, I have a hip issue, I don't want to have.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I feel like I have my little shoulder issue, but I've been trying to fix it for the Jamie match, and my shoulder is fine now. I did a few like a really nice like rotate. I diagnosed it quick. Like I watched some videos. My rotator cuff is like all messed up. Seems like, but I've did a few good exercises, and it put me right on track. I just see it as long as I keeping it for as long as I'm gonna arm wrestle.
Internal and external rotation, stuff like that with the lightweight.
Well, I don't do anything. If I'm trying to heal my shoulder, I'm not doing anything. Well, that's internal, right? I don't want to do none of that because I do it every Saturday in arm wrestling table, right? Exactly. I don't need it's really hurting me. Everything the opposite way, right? If I'm losing in a hook like this, I want to do the opposite move of that. I want the pressure to come from different. So I just did a couple typical rotator cuff exercises that I liked and it made sense. And my shoulder been fine. It's not like I fixed it, right?
This is still it's a big improvement to not feel like. Yeah. I'm very interested. We should talk about that also in more detail. Or maybe, did you do a video on those exercises on your channel?
No, I just kept doing them, see if they were going to work out. And now that I'm confident that a couple of the moves, I feel like
you include in the ebook.
Go with arm wrestling really, really well. But what I'm trying to say, how people that get injured, they always like they do a couple of things, they feel better, and they stop doing them.
That's
and then the injury recurs.
That doesn't work. Yeah.
As long as I keep doing the shoulder stuff and whatever I've been doing, I think I can build some good shoulders and keep. And I think
it also depends on your style, like you were saying, like Travis. Travis, I think Travis is one of the most intelligent arm wrestlers, like in terms of cost benefits. He weighs everything, and he's very careful.
Yes, strategy, right? Like,
tell me about the Jamie Sheldon. I didn't get to see the match. I just heard the result. I was not happy about it. I know you can do much better, but you had little time to prepare. So, but tell me what happened. I didn't get to see it.
Oh wow! So everything happened kind of as I've planned.
For the audience to know, Artem did not have much time to prepare. He has not been arm wrestling consistently for a while. I know his potential is way higher. I know some inside details. And so Artem didn't put the full force on this one. But I know he can do it. But tell me what happened.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've had, we can plan on this match from a long time ago, right? But I technically had time to prepare, right? It's just when the match was announced and I was like, I need to actually like...
You didn't take it too seriously, though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like it was a short amount of time for me to like, you know what, I've had time. It's kind of, I don't want to blame it on the time. It's just I could prepare better. I was in the best shape I could be there, right? I was in the best shape 100%. I could have been a little bit stronger, but as much as like I've did everything I could to be in the best shape possible. I've accounted for everything, and everything went as planned, because like the only one thing I didn't plan for, and I got a cocky like 24 hours before that. I watched a little bit more of Jamie's videos, and I'm like, there's no way stylistically this guy can actually beat me, right? Unless he's so much stronger. Unless so much stronger actually happened, and Jamie just came in. Jamie just came in so much stronger, right? There's not much excuses I can do. Stylistically, I did everything correct. I did a mistake. I lost 3-0. My first round was the only one I did not like, right? Because I was trying to commit a little bit hand, because I was thinking that was going to happen. I can take Jamie's hand by doing my top roll without the strap. It was a little bit too much. I was getting slammed by the pad, and I tried to run away and slip a little too late. And it was they called it as a pin without me really getting pinned. I kind of just lost I slipped in a losing position. So that was one problem I had, technically and stylistically. That's one mistake I did, but I kind of went for it, right? I tried to hold on to him. It was a bad idea. I realized it a little too late. I lost this round kind of, on that call.
What kind of strength did he have? Is it just general strength, or
just too strong? His biceps was a little too strong. His hand was a little stronger than I was anticipated, but I was assuming his bicep would be strong. Second round, the flinch side. Now, I did everything perfect technical wise. So that's why I kind of liked it. So I did everything I could. So my only excuse that Jamie was simply stronger than me.
Yeah, but you could have been stronger too.
Yeah, second round, well, I do, you know what I mean? But, somebody has to be stronger that day, you know what I'm saying? And that day was for Jamie. Second round was better. Slipped, go to the straps, actually took his hand, tried to do something, and like...
Oh, you took his hand? In the strap.
Stopped the match. We were in a little war. We were a little too close. My elbow came off, which that call was a little funny. My elbow came off as he's pinning me. On my camera, it actually doesn't seem like he pinned me. It seems like Bill was trying to call an elbow foul, but they kind of called win anyway because we're so close to the pad. So I'm not complaining about anything, but it was close. But I was like,
So I was right. So if you prepared a bit longer, maybe focus on the strength, you could have. Anyway, this is great. This is a great outcome because now there's a vendetta. There's a reason to go back for a second round.
So, third match, we switch side again. Okay, I'm like, my first thing didn't work out. I'm not on the side of the strap where I wanted to be. So now I can either try to slip again and go to the straps, or I could go inside, which I also think I have a chance in. And I'm telling Jamie, like let's just bang. He's like, oh, let's go inside. I shoot my hand inside and it just slams, and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Wow. So he had bad. A good. Isn't he a top roller? I didn't know he was with.
I was looking at all Jamie's videos. He has a good biceps. He has a really weird side pressure stop the wedge. So he's pretty versatile, right? I was expecting him to be strong almost everywhere, and. Yeah, it's like, so as I said, technically I tried everything I would needed to try, escaped where I needed to escape. It's just the first round was a mistake on my part. And other than that, he was just so much stronger and nothing I can do about it. So
just to explain this to the audience who maybe not everyone's into arm wrestling, what Artem means by technically did everything right, because in arm wrestling it seems like a simple thing, but it's not. There's a lot of complex maneuvering, there's strategy, there's reactions to how the other person is using their strategy. And what Artem's saying is he did everything he could do, but he was overpowered. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And well, here's the thing. My biggest, everybody has this style, this strategy. One of my things that I'm kind of living by right now that I always tell people, you cannot do the same move. If you're losing, you cannot do the same shit 3 times in a row. It's hard to do it. It's hard, especially if you're by yourself. Nobody's telling you the right strategies. It's important to be in your head as your arm wrestler. It's important to realize what mistakes you're doing, right? It's important to try different things. If I'm seeing because there are a lot of seasonal athletes, there are a lot of WEL guys, there are a lot of people who've been arm wrestlers, they're legends, right? I'm not going to say their names because like I'm going to trash them.
We would say most arm wrestlers, most actually.
Yeah, but I'm kind of want to highlight there's professionals, the people that got to be in WEL, they get those matches that actually they're not that skillful. They're the people that'll do the same things 3 times in a row and they lose the match like that, right? And that's what I'm not trying to become the guy. I'm not trying to preach it. So that's why one of my things, you have to strategize properly every round, everything. So, try to think about matches. And that's why that's kind of my style. That's what I believe in. You need to make sure if you do everything right and you just kind of, you kind of have to do things, you have to strategize every match, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's my thing. So that's what I'm saying. I think with Jamie, I get everything I planned. I did all in right places and he was just stronger than me. And so there's no excuse about that.
Well, I disagree about there's no excuse. There's a different subject on that, nutrition and training and stuff like that.
Talking about strategy,
arm wrestling,
all that.
Like you. I mean, I think Artem, from the years of me watching arm wrestling, it's actually harder to find professional or you're talking about WAL, not amateur, huh?
It's just better to say that.
Yeah, in general, it's harder to find, like, you can think of the professional arm wrestlers that have great table IQ. It's more like easy to find them, like Herman or John Brzenk, or there's many people, but there's more people that are so good at one move that they never develop this complex table IQ. And also, I honestly think, I don't know enough about this, but I think some people don't have the sensing of, like, to be able to sense where the opponent is strong or weakened, which is something you've learned over years.
Yeah, or at least if you don't even have to sense it. If you can just watch your opponent long enough and see the problems, you could just replicate that. If you can sense it, you can at least fake it, right? But there are many greats also that kind of agree with the fact that never learn how to arm wrestle. Like Christian Beanie is one of them. Number 1 guy in the world a couple times left-handed, right? He was ranked number 1 guy in the entire world a couple times in the world, a couple times in the lifetime, right? He was like over John, over Travis, he will tell you that he doesn't really know how to arm wrestle. He never been technical. He's just super strong. And you can see it. The way he still arm wrestles, like, no, that's not how it should be done. But, you can't really say that to the guy. But as long as he agrees to that, it's all good, right?
Who are the best left-handed arm wrestlers? I don't know, actually. By the way, who's this? There's a guy with a YouTube channel. I don't really know him. I didn't hear about him before. His name is Ryan SB. I think he's a left-handed arm wrestler from Canada.
He's a good Canadian left-handed arm wrestler.
One of the best, huh?
Yeah. In the world, I think it always comes down to, like, John was there, right? John was there right and left, but John wants to dominate right-handed, right? But his left is just as good. So he been number 1. I think ultimately, for the longest time,
Denis Saplenkov.
No, I think Denis was ranked, but Denis never was that active, right? Because it's all on Eric Rosin's website. You can see Eric Rosin has a thing with archives and histories. There's year by year who's the number 1 in the world at that exact year, right and left-handed. If I'm not lying, it's always came down to Travis Bagent.
Oh yeah,
and Christian Beanie. Them two were like back and forth left-handed guys. John Brzenk was there. I bet you Travis was there for the longest time. Denis was there arguably too. But like, see, like people like Travis and Denis like never arm wrestled each other.
Now, is Travis left-handed or is he right-handed? I think he's right-handed, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure I have to picture Travis as a left-handed. I think he's actually left-handed.
Maybe, yeah. Some people are right-handed and they're better with the left, though, right?
I'm picturing Travis writing with his left arm as many times as I've seen it. He's actually left. You're correct. I feel a lot of people that are right-handed naturally, they do think that they're right hand. And if I were to tell them to go try to do a one-arm pull-up, people will achieve it with the left hand a lot faster. Right-handed. Everybody I've countered, myself, when I start doing the one-arm pull-ups or holds, left hand is first.
Wait, you've done a one-arm pull-up?
I mean, I can still do it.
Are you joking? Wow, that is an incredible feat of strength. Wow.
I feel it's not. I feel like it is, but at the same time, I feel like it's just you have to teach your body how to do it. It just once you learn it, it's easier. There's people have different techniques to it. I have my own, and like I don't know. I feel like once you get used to that, it's kind of like a muscle up. If you don't know how to do a muscle up, it's hard, right? But once you do your first one, or once you do like this one, and then you can do like a full one, I feel like it just as long as you keep doing it at every weight you are and you're consistent at it, you're gonna be able to do it. Like Travis can do muscle up on the rings.
Oh, those are difficult on the shoulder, though, man.
But those are incredible. Those are super hard to do, and he doesn't really do it with a crazy like cheating too. He can do not a clean one. You know, he's 280 pounds, but he can rock a muscle up in a good shape. He can do a muscle up. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with me. Yesterday I've tried. Like, let's say yesterday, I failed at the muscle up yesterday, right? Hard for me to hold myself, but I bet you give me another training. If I go to the gym today, I'll do a muscle up, right? Same thing with the one arm holds and then pull. Maybe right now I can hold myself with one arm and then your arm. I can switch right and left. That's all I can do. I can try to fail a one arm pull up, but give me 2-3 of those. I'll rock a one arm pull up pretty good. This
is a great thing you mentioned to me because I've been going to the gym for like 4 months now, but I'm looking for like some little challenge to give myself. I think I'm gonna try to do a one arm pull up. This is gonna be interesting. I've never done it before. Now I never tried a muscle up. That looks easier to me because you can use the momentum and.
Also, better cheating stuff. Everything you can do, you can try. Yeah, one arm pull up. It's harder, and people don't realize how much of a chest involved in it too. It's not just this.
The stabilization, huh?
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of like so. Keeping your elbow to your chest, keep your elbow here tight. It's not. It's your lat, but it's also your chest. Right?
That's true.
What you're gonna realize once you're up there, let's say you do full arm you do pull-ups, right? You let one arm go. And if you're not warm, like if it's you just go to the gym, you jump up there on your pull-up bar, and you're gonna let go one arm, and you're gonna slowly get ripped open. You're gonna feel it in your chest first of all. Your chest is gonna because the separation here and here gonna happen. It's a lot of that thing gets involved, so you have to be kind of careful because one arm stuff is scary. Every time I see some like huge jack dude that's lean as hell, just kind of ripping this stuff, I'm like, ooh, that's so cool, but it's really scary. So
okay, wait. So
challenge. If you want to do a challenge, muscle up. Muscle up is good. But
then you gotta find those. I gotta go to Venice Beach or something to find those bars to get on top of. You can't do it on a normal pull-up thing, right? Can you?
You can. You have to look at the gym. Like the last gym I was going to, the ceilings were too low. If I were to do a thing, I'll hit the ceiling, right? Because the pull-up bar is too close.
But the pull-up bar has to be straight, right? It can't just be on the sides. My gym only has like the handle pull-up bars. Does it have to be a straight bar or no?
Well, technically not really, because I've done them of the dips, right? You can do it off the dips too. Like if you get like on this bar, you can rock.
Oh, true.
Kind of like a ring thing, but yeah, it has to be somewhat to be comfortable to do to where you're able to what do you call it, nipping, where you're able to swing your body to make sure and you can go up there if you're trying to help. Yeah, you're right.
I think if I go to Venice Beach and try to do this, I'm going to encounter that guy, Cali Muscle. He's over there doing these pull-ups, muscle-ups constantly in Venice Beach. I'm going to bump into him.
Bro, talking about sodium muscle-ups, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's reposted one of my videos before. He's a nice guy. Really? Okay, yeah, he's a nice guy. He reposted one. I did very well.
So, yeah, I agree with you. It's one thing. Muscle-ups, they're not many gym-friendly. You have to find, like, little station you can do that.
But wait, you're very kind to update me on all this, and I'm glad my audience could get a quick summary of what happened in arm wrestling the last few weeks. The last one we have to talk about is what is going on in Igor's top 8, because I think that there was I saw one match. I couldn't resist, even it was like the pregnancy day or the birthing day. I watched it. I couldn't stop because it was Krasimir Kostadinov versus the giant that's now literally a giant. I mean, I was watching this thing screaming. I was like, how the hell did this guy get so big? This is a Russian bear. Now, he must be 300 pounds now, right?
Probably. I'm not quite sure, but it gotta be. It is funny, in 2002, I can send you a picture. I can send a picture of young Vitaly arm wrestling in 2002 at 47 kilos. That was his
wow.
It was his weight class.
Wow. So just for the audience to know, Vitaly Laletin is 6'9". He is.
He's Matt Mask's height. He's like 6'7", really.
Oh, 6'7". Okay. Oh, really? Huh?
He's exactly as Matt Mask. Yeah.
They over-label it, I think, when they say, sometimes they say 6'9".
You look at Vitaly in the video, wouldn't you say he's like 7'?
The guy has to sit down to go on the table. He's so tall. But you know, he has, just for the audience to know, he has a really precise style that is very efficient and very quick. And he has a very interesting style. You wouldn't assume somebody that big would have a very precise style. And he's incredibly apparently strong. I mean, everybody who arm wrestles him says that he's the next thing. And before, he was, I think, having issues with Levon, from my perspective, maybe because of Levon's hand, but also because of the size difference. There's 350 pounds versus 250 or something like that, or 220. But now he gained 80 pounds, so I'm really excited.
Yeah.
What did you think of Krasimir going to them? I mean, because Krasimir has been saying he wants to be number one right-handed in the open, I think, or in the super heavyweight. And Krasimir, according to his own interviews, says that he doesn't use steroids. So it's like an insane approach to try to compete with Levon and these 350-pound guys. But he wants to, and he's one of the best hookers in the world. So I guess he's very confident. When I was watching the beginning of the match, I was like, there's no way. This is going to be 6-0, 5-0, whatever. There's no way. And then I watched it happen. It broke my heart a little bit. I felt for Krasi, but he was, you know, he tried his best each time. Yeah, what did you think of it?
Well, I didn't watch the match, but I've seen clips enough. Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't much to watch. Yeah,
same day as Chance and John. You know, I was there doing that thing. So,
oh yeah, true.
You know, I'm blocked by Igor in every platform. It's not like I can clips and shit. So like, so yeah, I mean, just the thing about Krasimir that I mean, I probably believe that he is well. I don't believe anybody, right? But he's one of the person to claim to be natural for forever. His training style is very open and clear, right? He tells us how he trains, very unique, right? It's a lot of table time. It's hard table time.
3 times a day, yeah.
Yeah, a couple times a day, every day. So, you know, I mean, he has style, so he's thinking about his training. It's one thing to believe somebody that they're natural and you don't really know how they train and they kind of, you know, they don't seem like to be technical as far as like the training goes. But we know that Krasimir is the guy that thinks about his training. So like, there's many things to believe in him. And he's done things, right? He won worlds. He actually have a win on Levon in a hook, right? He beat Levon before. So he's up there. Like,
must have been a long time ago though, right?
Not a long time ago. It was 3-4 years ago at Worlds at 110 kilos or, you know, supers heavyweights.
Oh.
He stopped Levon's pronation, got him on a hook, sucked him in, about to beat him. They call a foul. He did it again. Like, he, you know what I mean?
I didn't see this. Wow.
Yeah, it's like one, you can actually put it, it's very easy to find Levon versus Krasimir. So Krasimir is there, like maybe because he is like that natural, it is hard because he is elite tier guy, and maybe the only thing that stops him is like the gear use. I don't know. He's right there. It's just the competition that's within him. It's so like on another crazy level, right? There's another level to elite right now. Yeah. So kind of like we cannot say that Krasimir is not the guy. It's just competition gets a little much more crazier. But I believe in the long run, Krasimir has a potential to come back anytime. I feel like because he is natty, because he keeps training, Krasimir wins in the long run. It's just, you know.
You know, I honestly, Artem, between you and I, because, you know, I'm interested in steroids. So
between you and I and
everyone listening. Yeah, but no, I used to think, honestly, no, I tell you, I used to think Krasi was lying. I always thought he was lying for like 3-4 years.
Well, as you should. As you should.
But then this time I didn't, because I was like, okay, if a guy is using steroids, and I saw what Krasi did. He gained some fat. I don't know if you noticed. He gained some weight trying to prepare for the match, but it seemed like a lot of it was soft. It was fat. So if a guy was using steroids and he said, now I'm going to be the super heavyweight champion, and he's going to face Laletin, that's the time to blow up. So and I saw no shoulder mass, no chest mass gained, nothing. So I believed it. I said, okay, maybe this guy really is telling the truth. He's not using androgens.
Okay, a real crap, right? Like just no shoulders, just
arms, yeah.
Just arms, like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then the other thing is, when he went to WAL, who did he lose against? I remember that time.
Dave Chafee.
So I wonder how he's so confident to fight these super heavyweights. He's a brave guy.
He's the guy. He's always been on top. He have won stuff. It's just like, I mean, he's competing. He's not competing against the guys that on the same level or lower. He competes against the guy that literally a little bit above him, right? So that's his competition. He's not losing to the guy that takes second place. He's losing to the guys that arguably number one in the world, right? He lost. What's his last 2 losses? Dave Chaffee, he's still arguably, your top 5 in the world right-hander, right? Vitaly, arguably the same top 3. So people say that Dave's going to beat Levon, right? So if Dave does beat Levon, so what? Krasimir lost to the guy that's still number 1 in the world.
Bro, you have no idea how much I want to see that happen. I wish I could donate to Dave's campaign or so. I wish we could solve his whatever injury he has, because that guy is used to, when he was not injured, that is like a machine.
Stakings that they did for that match?
What?
On the stakes.
Oh, I heard of that. Yeah, that Levon said that he won't lose a round, right?
Yeah, so I think the stakes are the stakes for this match. They're not for you can stake on Dave to win one match. That's how
That's crazy.
Staking on Dave to win one match. That's all it is. And Levon's you win the stakes if Levon wins all the rounds, right? So technically, if Dave loses but he wins one round, you can still stake on just that. You can stake on one round. It's just kind of.
But I don't know enough inside info to know how injured he is. I would love to bet on it, to be honest with you. I'm not a betting guy, but
I know he has a neck problem, right? Which is hard to arm wrestling, right? I know
he has that neck thing where it impinges your arm strength. I have that also.
Yeah, he's not injured really. I don't know. I haven't heard of that. But
what that usually does? That weakens the nerve firing to one side usually.
Yeah, many people have.
Yeah, many bodybuilders have that, and then one arm will get a bit smaller than the other arm.
Yeah, because your arm, that's the scary part. People don't realize. People love to go to practices, put the tight straps on the shit where the arm blue and stuff. They damage the nerve.
I've heard of that.
My buddy of mine, maybe you follow him on Instagram. His Instagram, Mr. Banka, the guy with huge arms, enormous arms, right? Super. He's he took second in the Zlata or something. Super good guy. He can.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, I know you're talking about, Russian guy.
Yeah. He trains
huge arms.
He trains by the same coach as me from Ivan.
Oh, really?
Cannot compete with one of his arms because there's so much nerve damage. The arms look fine. There's no pains, but he can't lift as much weight. It's just there's so much nerve damage been done to where he just simply can't lift the same weight as his other arm, right? Yeah. He's been fixed. It's been better, but that's one of the things that's kind of a scary injury, the nerve stuff. And the neck stuff that scares me because I get it once in a while and I'm like, ooh.
That. I actually have that, by the way, brother. My right arm used to be half an inch bigger than my left. Then now I haven't been training for a few years. Now when I started training, my left arm is 1 inch bigger than my right, and it's stronger. And my right hand is still stronger, but just because of years of using my hand. But the bicep and the tricep of the left is stronger. So it's so. But I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't care. But it's something in my neck. I've noticed. I start to feel there's I think there's a hemorrhage of the disc in the neck.
Does it? What's the? It's because of that gym stuff. Because I've heard theories about steroid use too. Because it can something to do with that.
So steroid use can increase inflammation in the body, which can worsen a lot of things. But really, what happened, I believe, in my case at least, it's from back exercises. Sometimes when I'm lifting, I used to do heavy bent over rows and stuff. My neck would randomly. Actually, I think it's from working out my neck. I was working out my neck was too strong. And when I was doing bent over rows, sometimes I would move my neck and it would hurt for 2 or 3 days after. I would feel like I snapped something there. It happens to me so many times. And then now the arm. Anyway, it's okay. Last thing I wanted to ask you before we get into our subject. Devon Larratt is fighting. This is so, what is going on? This is great, by the way. I'm so happy for Devon because it's going to be great for arm wrestling. So many people are going to get to know him. This is great for all of us, of course. Yeah. And we support him 100%. And I hope he wins. But it's really, do you know anything about how that got planned? How that got started?
I actually, again, I'm kicking Leo all this exclusive information for everybody. I didn't even say it in my video yesterday because I was talking about the thing. I actually called Devon 3 days before Thursday. So I called him last Thursday, right? Because we did not film our episode of Trash List, right? So when I call him, I'm like, hey, call me when you can. He calls me. I'm like, hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, I just want to make sure that I know I lost to Jamie, and I think he staked on me too, and as many people did. And I'm like, I want to make sure we're still cool. It's like not money and like, like, and I knew our show gonna be probably like that because he's a busy person. You're a busy person. I'm a busy person. You know how we always try to schedule this stuff.
No, but now we're going to be frequent. We have to do every at least 2 weeks. We really have to be consistent, But
well, you know what's happening, right?
Yeah, so everyone gets it.
You picked up available. So, hey, I was just making sure you still love me. You're like, no, buddy. I'm just. What he told me, he's like, within 3 days, I just got a phone call and my life might be changed completely. I can't tell you what it is. It just, if it happens, you'll know about it. But I just, I'm just being a little bit busy. The stuff been busy, so we might be not able. He didn't say anything, but he said he's going to be a little busy. And within the next 3 days, his life might change, maybe not. And then exactly 3 days later, I guess what he was saying, you're probably going to get to watch his video, but his video kind of replicates what he was telling me. I guess Eddie Holland, Thor, we're supposed to fight. Eddie got injury. They wanted for replacement. And when they were in Dubai, and, this fight been going on for a while, right? Yeah. Devon just said somebody as a joke, like, hey, if you ever need a replacement, something happens, like, I'm the guy, right? And they actually called, like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, you're the only person that left us that can do this. Like, okay, I'm doing this, right? So, and that's how it became as a thing. So that's from me, like, Did you hear about originally? So originally HAFTHOR, they were thinking of putting HAFTHOR with Mariusz Pudzianowski, the Polish strongman. You know that strongman that looked like a bodybuilder? You know him? Or you're angry at him? What was going on? No, I mean, I've heard the name. I don't picture it. Probably if I see the picture, I'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture later. He's basically the only strongman competitor winner that ever looked fit. He was like very fit. Like it was ridiculous. He had no body fat. I'll send you a picture. I guess. But yeah. So they were thinking of putting him today. Nick Strength and Power was this. Have you heard of this channel? Nick Strength and Power?
Guy that does a lot about street girls. Yeah,
yes.
I know that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He's a nice guy. But he made a video. I think he doesn't know enough about Devon to give justice to the fight, because he was like, oh, he's facing this arm wrestler. We all wanted to see him face Mario, something like that. He didn't say it in a negative way, but he was more excited about Marius. I hope that the audience listening to this can know Devon is a killer. Like, there's a difference. Marius is a strongman. Devon is an actual soldier. You're talking about a guy that fears nothing, and it's very interesting. He has combat experience in real life. So it's a really cool thing. It's an arm wrestler who is a former, what do they call that? Special operations kind of.
Ops, yeah.
Yeah, multiple tours. This is a warrior who happens to arm wrestler. So it's going to be, happens to arm wrestle very well. So it's going to be a very fascinating match.
Yeah, and
he's 6'6" too.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell in my video too. That people are just excited, but if you're an arm wrestler, you know that people have been telling stories about Devon for a long time. There's so many stories about Devon, like fighting some top UFC fighters and beating them. He's like, there's stories about Devon taking on 10 guys in the same time and just laying everybody in a bar. There's many stories of Devon doing some incredible things, right? And
in fact, you can say if it wasn't a boxing match, it would almost be certain probably Devon would win, because if he could grapple and do things like that. Now, this is the interesting thing, Artem. Think about this, though. The one thing that happened, unfortunately for Devon, is the last 3 years he's been focusing on the King's move. So his arm reach has shortened. So when he boxes now, he has to be a little bit closer than that tall giant with the long reach.
I'll send you a meme. I saw it on Facebook. It's super funny. Like, it's Devon getting knocked out, and like he can't reach the Thor because like my arms can't open all the way. Like it's terrible meme, but it was so funny because
that's funny. But me and you 100% on Devon's team. We got to cheer this guy on, and every arm wrestler has to. We have to show as much support, and we have to tell non-arm wrestlers who Devon is, not just a random arm wrestler. This is a soldier. This is a very interesting kind of soldier, elite special forces soldier.
Well, the only thing that frustrates me is people still don't understand. Like in 2021, people still don't understand those type of things, right? People say like, we're gonna see some horrible boxing. Like it's a shame for boxing. I'm like, are we still here?
Boxing is, dude, let's get that straight. Boxing by itself, the real boxers right now are very boring, bro. Boxing is not what it was in the 90s with Mike Tyson. They don't have any Mike Tyson. Everyone who's interesting in boxing now, they don't have like a personality. That's why this is all coming out. I mean, you have that tall Irish gypsy guy who's in the heavyweights who was interesting. And then you have Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Other than that, you don't have personalities. These guys have personalities. We want to watch these guys fight. We don't really care about these boxers that are not knocking each other out, doing little taps. I tried to watch boxing. The reason why I'm venting, I tried to watch boxing a few weeks ago. I was like, what the hell? This is not... Because I grew up watching like Muhammad Ali fights, old fights, and I used to watch Mike Tyson live when I was a kid. This is not as interesting. I would rather watch HAFTHOR and especially Devon.
Yeah, I'm never was big into boxing. Oh, any sports really in general. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how people don't understand. It's not really about boxing. It's about two guys that we love to, like, we all love Devon. That's why we're going to watch, right? Yeah. People love Thor because he's a strongman, because he's from Game of Thrones. There's so many others. It's not about boxing. It's about them competing against each other. It's something they both not familiar with, really, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's cool, right? So I'm kind of, that's the only thing that's still a little frustrating that people still want to talk about this as like a big serious like boxing thing. It's a big serious thing, but it's not really about boxing. It's about two dudes just having a blast, right? And we all love this, right?
Apparently, I've been learning more about MMA because I have another. So this is the biohacking and arm wrestling show. I also have a biohacking and MMA show, but again, I haven't scheduled a recent one. But so it's not just with you. I need to schedule one soon. But so in that one, I've been learning about UFC and MMA and boxing, and I realized these boxing guys are very touchy. They don't like even the MMA guys to fight in boxing. They're very like elitist about their sport. But bro, we got to be honest. Their sport is boring. I don't know. These days it's boring. For me, honestly, I'm a little bit stupid. I think I can't even watch lightweight boxers. Like Floyd Mayweather is very boring for me. I want to see somebody get knocked out. I want to see that 15-second knockout from Mike Tyson, or I want to see something crazy from George Foreman. I want to see stuff like that. I don't want to see two people practicing art, tapping each other, winning on points. I hate that winning on points. I hate it.
Yeah, well, I guess unless you're like a guy that into the thing.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, you know, I've tried to watch like football, and people say the football is exciting. And I'm like,
American football?
Yeah, it's just as bad as arm wrestling.
If you don't grow up in America, you can't watch that, bro.
People love to complain about arm wrestling that they have elbow falls, right?
Yeah.
That it's not presentable to the audience. We can't present arm wrestling to the audience because of the falls. People don't understand why the match being stopped. I'm like, I've watched American football. The shit gets stopped every 3 seconds.
I know.
There's the ball touching, like.
And we have no idea why it's being stopped, and everyone quits on the field. They all just relax, and you're like, what is going on here? By the way, bro, baseball is even more difficult. Baseball is like 6 hours. The people are using tobacco on the field, chilling. Like, it's
that's what I'm saying. Like, we cannot, like, if you're not a fan of particular sport, you're just not really gonna like it. Like, and you know, it's like you have to be committed to the weirdness of your sport, right? Either it's elbow fouls or the ball touching the ground and nobody touches it with their hand. So like whatever, like I don't know. I
agree.
People like to complain about weird things. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I skipped last weekend because of the baby, but every week, or actually last weekend, I think there were no fights, but every weekend on Saturday, I've been watching the UFC fights to learn more about MMA. I got to be honest with you. I thought maybe because they always say arm wrestling is boring. I don't know what. And I like arm wrestling, but I thought maybe I'm going to watch MMA and it's going to be more exciting. Weirdly, I got to admit, I prefer arm wrestling. I don't know why. It's because in arm wrestling, there's a strength component. There's a strength and a fight. In the fight, there's like sometimes a lot of these fights are not knockouts or submissions. They're like points. I don't like that. No, I can't even tell. Sometimes they give the points honestly, and you're like, no, the other guy should have won. So it's like a bodybuilding show. It's like an opinion.
It's not clear. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see like the strength and then also the aggression. Like what's his name that passed away in Russia? The super heavyweight. I forgot his name. I always forget the name. I don't know why. The one who passed away with the Oleg.
Andrei Pushkar.
When I saw Andrei Pushkar fight, it would be aggression. It's like you're in a real fight. He's so angry. And then at the same time, that massive power. It's like watching powerlifting, but with a fight, you know?
Yeah. But plus, I think, as I was saying, I think you have to be very close or familiar. You've happened to meet people, you happen to learn about the sport, so you will watch more stuff because you've met them, right? You've happened to meet many good people. You happen to talk to some people, so
I was lucky, yeah.
excited because you know what's going on, right? I will watch some amateur arm wrestlers because like maybe I know both of them, and that's why I'm excited even about maybe there's two guys that kind of barely into the sport really. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing, yeah. Sport is exciting if you know what it is and you're excited about the thing. Yeah, like I feel like
what I'm impressed by? That arm wrestling news guy. I think he's in India. I don't know if he has anyone to sit with, but he's following it so well, and he's helping the sport. Honestly, that channel is very useful. I'm so happy with the way the community is growing.
Arm wrestling news is a great. I've had arm wrestling news show with Igor Mazurenko a long time ago, and it was great. But in that time, there was not many news. So right now it's a killer time to do, and I'm so glad. Like I'm glad that Pradeep does that thing. It's awesome. I love what he does. Some people hate him for some reason. I'm like, the guy makes content. He's been on YouTube for like 2 years. Already have 5,000 subscribers. For arm wrestling, it's a great number. Especially
I didn't know he was been to 2 years. I didn't. That's the time that I was out of arm wrestling. I didn't know that.
Kyle DePew messaged me another day. Kyle DePew was like, hey, I'm making an interview with Arm Wrestling News Guy. Do you have questions for him? I have great questions for him. I went to his YouTube. I'm like, hey, seems like the guy been only on YouTube for 2 years. Already have a great following. He has a little Patreon going on with people. I want to know what his key things that he thinks helped him. I want to know, I asked a couple of questions, and I've learned myself that he's only been doing that for 2 years. So like, wow. Yeah,
By the way, I gotta tell you, I've been very impressed with the growth of your channel and the way you've been developing it. Really, really great. You stay at that, it takes a while for people to start finding it, but you have the kind of content. I've been watching it, not watching all of the videos because I was busy these weeks, but I've been seeing the kind of videos you're making. It's very good stuff. You're gonna just keep at it. Don't stop. It's the frequency sometimes I gotta mention something to you. Maybe I don't know if you know this. The YouTube algorithm penalizes you if you don't post within like 24 hours. So if you don't post, say, for 3 days, listen to this. If you don't post for, say, 3 days, the video you post after is going to be shown to less people than if you posted 24 hours before. Unless you start posting and you see it's like, how it says like 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10 in terms of popularity. If you start posting and you get like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, you have to do one that's 1 or 3 or 4 to get it back, the algorithm. And then if you skip days, you screw yourself. It doesn't get shown to as many people.
So what's your formula? How many, because I've had footage too. I've posted a couple times a day. I can post. What's your
So I'll tell you, this is how everything I learned is from my friend Derek from More Plates, More Dates. He's such a generous friend. He gives me advice, looks out for me and stuff. He was telling me, do not skip 24 hours for this year. Post every single day, no matter what. Now, he posts twice a day because he wants the channel to grow quicker. Even though each video gets a little bit less views, when you post 2 videos, you have more likelihood of each one being shown to more people. So you get more subscribers. So his goal was to get to 1 million soon. So he started posting twice a day. And the person who did this first in the fitness industry was Greg Doucette. Greg Doucette was at around 500,000 subscribers. He started posting twice a day. Actually, at one point, I was almost like 3 times a day. And he grew to 1 million within like a few months.
Really?
So they those guys post twice a day. I'm trying now to build up some content so I can post twice a day, but my goal is like it has to be every 24 hours there has to be a video. Otherwise the algorithm screws you.
How important is the length? Because I can post twice a day.
The length is not that, it's not that important. The most important thing is total viewing time. But what your goal is really, if you think about it, with each video is for people to see the video. So as long as, if you notice, I make a lot of these scientific videos, they're like 5 minutes long. They're not long, but it's short. People will watch through a lot of it and maybe more people will see it, Actually, those don't do too well. I do them mainly for my subscribers that like those videos. But basically, it's not, you don't have to put like long podcasts out. And if you do a podcast, as you know, you probably learned already, I've seen, you put like a clip because the clip will interest people in the podcast to watch the whole thing. Most people don't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like, Andrew Schultz talked about this. Do you know Andrew Schultz?
I've heard his name. I don't know.
Comedian. And he
of course. Yeah.
Great material, was trying to pitch it to Netflix, to everybody. He tried to send his material to his friends. Everybody said, like, yeah, it's great. I can't watch an hour. I can't. So what he even said, he is supporting 2-3 minute clips of his performance, right? Next, people watching 2 hours worth because they just keep clicking on his videos, right? Just keeping clicking on the 3-minute clips.
Yeah.
Next, they're already racked up 2 hours worth of watching, but in 2-3 minute clips. Everybody has ADHD. Nobody can pay attention for too long. So those little clips.
But you have to respect the algorithm. If you take 3 days off, you just shot yourself in the foot. You've undone a few days of work. So just keep that in mind.
What I've noticed, if I do a really great video, like let's say some video just got hit, right? Like 100,000 views. If I keep posting, the things stays up, right?
Yes, you see?
It's a little higher. But if I give up on that, whenever I hit the break and I try to come back,
it dies. The algorithm leaves you. Yeah, exactly. So you see it.
I don't know if you happened to watch it. The algorithm is funny and talks. I like all this algorithm talk. I watched this video. It's 30-second video. It popped up on my feed and it's like, I forgot the name, but it's something like the algorithm, something about algorithm. Like the algorithm made this video for you or something. You open this video and it's like the guy tells you, put the caption on and slow down the video to 25%, right? And it's him saying like, YouTube algorithm watches the 3 things: the duration, the actions, and something else. And basically, by him telling people to slow down and turn the captions, the video got recommended to like everybody. So people like leaving comments, it got recommended to me because everybody did the same thing, and it's a couple million views on that video. I'll send you if you
let me give you one idea also. So I don't do this often myself, but I should do it. So the video that it really does well right now is called a response video, where you put yourself on the side and you watch a video and pause it and comment on explaining sort of what people are saying. You could easily do this in arm wrestling stuff. You could even respond to Devon's videos, for example. Every time Devon makes a video, you can respond to the one that's interesting. And that response, for some reason, people love it. They love to see you. They watch both and they love it.
Oh, yes. The only problem is that it's great. I've done a couple of those. People do the breakdowns in arm wrestling. Yeah. People watch matches, break down what happened.
No, that's copyright sometimes.
Ryan Bowen is the problem because Ryan Bowen does that for everything. It's a meme, right?
No, he doesn't respond. He breaks down. He doesn't put the video. Does he?
He breaks. Yeah, he does. He does a lot of breakdowns and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you play the full video, like Devon's talking, you play it, you pause, you explain what he's saying. He's saying this because this is it. Then you press play.
I get you the structure. I'm not sure if his structure identical. He shows the matches. But because he does, I think the meme started because he did a breakdown of a breakdown. Like some to react to the video and people him because he's done so much. That's one of the growing factors of his channel. It's his breakdowns and stuff. And he is so many to where nowadays you have to be careful. You cannot just break down every
breakdown of the breakdown.
I agree with you. I've done a couple. I don't think I've done what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about, to do that, Artem, check out More Plates, More Dates channel. He does the best style. You can go see his reaction videos. He does a perfect style of doing it. Nobody does that in arm wrestling. So you would be the first one.
And they're positive because that's the thing.
Positive, or explaining the background information, explaining the arm wrestling technicalities of the discussion. Why would somebody want to prepare? Why would somebody do that? Just explaining it for the novice, for the new listener, and then sometimes giving your opinion if you disagree, but you can do so respectfully.
Interesting. I'll remember that. I'll look into that because it is. I see it is a little different than a breakdown.
Yeah. I'll send you one after we get off. Listen, Artem, how about we do this? Let's do another one next week instead of every 2 weeks. And next week we'll talk about the joint thing because we did a lot of review. I don't want to make it too long for the people.
It's been an hour. Yeah, we never got to the subject.
Yeah, but it was very fun. Thank you so much. You really updated me on everything.
Yeah, the internet is forever. We'll do, but you knew what you were coming to.
but can I ask you something? Hey, are Tuesdays like this time good for you? Because I always record with Boston at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, my time, which is crazy late. I screw up my sleep every week. But I don't know if it's good for you. Let's find a regular time and we can do week on week we can even do short 20-minute ones if we have to. But if we're consistent, it's better.
Yeah, I mean, because you record and you repost it, I think it's easier, right? Because you post it it's easier to record and you pick a date to post it, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
True.
the problem is my job. My hours. I should be getting off at 6 or 5, respectfully. Sometimes I'm off at 9. So that's the only problem, and it's not after me. I'm like the lowest position you can possibly have.
Okay, no, the other thing we can do is weekends in the daytime.
Yeah.
Up to you. Weekends in the daytime, but Tuesday is the only night I stay very late. So if you ever want to do on Tuesday also. So let's make sure we don't skip next week, okay?
Yeah, for the most time, that's what I'm saying. Like, in an ideal world, I'm always home at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm home at 9. So it happens to be like one day I schedule something and I happen to be home late as hell. So yeah.
So to the viewers, we got to support Artem's channel. We got to get him out of this job because the job is getting in the way of the podcast. Exactly. Let's support Artem's channel.
So I'm all about this time on Tuesday. It's just after me to let you know, like, hey,
let's plan that. Yeah, let's plan Tuesday, and then we can't do it. We do weekend.
Yeah, if you want to do that time, yes, perfect. Weekends,
perfect for me.
So I'm always off Saturday, Sunday. So if I have plans, I have to work around them. Yeah. But yeah, you can come up with this time. If it's perfect for you, Tuesday 8 o'clock, my time will be my Leo time, right? So we can do this. As long as I'm home, I'm all about you, right? I can do anything you want me to do.
Thank you so much, brother.
As long as I'm home and we can do it.
Hey, you gotta get one of those flags there are these cool flags that are like made out of wood. You gotta get a cool looking one. We gotta get you one. I'll get you one. So.
What do you mean, like the American flag?
The American flag that's made out of it's really cool. Yeah, I think it comes with a donation. You donate to. They're really cool. This one I have a flag like yours, but the problem is at the end it has that like plastic part, We have to frame it.
Well, there's a story. You cannot see because the camera is too far. And I'm actually, because, you message me, I'm like, oh, I forgot about it. So yeah. I'm just wearing a hoodie. I can't walk and show you the flag. Where is it? The big flag, my mom bought me when I became a citizen. I became a citizen a year ago and 3 days.
So I have to frame it.
Yeah, so I became a citizen exactly a year ago in a couple of days. That was about just, for the picture and have it there. The small one, you can't see how terrible the thing is. It's not terrible, but there's no stars. It's little cannabis leaves because it came from True Leaf, from the dispensary. It actually says like product of True Leaf. It's just this thing they made for like Independence Day probably. It's an American flag with the weed stuff. But
I never expected you to go to a dispensary. You don't drink.
I don't have a medical card. I have buddies that work at dispensary and they give me the good stuff. I have the ultimate plug. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Card's too expensive, and I have a good.
I'm so surprised by this. You never struck me. I used to smoke weed. Remember when I saw you before? I was always smoking weed in those days. I was smoking weed from the morning to the nighttime when I met you a couple of times.
One time, and you like 260, this neck like this way popping out. Who's this guy in glasses? Like old Jack.
I was high that time. I always used to smoke weed, actually. I didn't even feel it anymore. I would smoke from the morning to the nighttime. Do you smoke weed a lot every day or once in a while?
Every day.
Really? Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to do that together sometime when I see you next time.
Respectfully, I'll tell you off the camera about what happened in Arizona with my master Jamie, because I shocked a lot of people with my strategy because I won the tournament, and I'll show you. See, my patrons get to see this stuff but I'll tell you right now, real quick.
Oh, you have a Patreon?
Yeah, I have a Patreon.
You should tell people about that.
That's 45 people. I post. There's a problem with Patreon. I post stuff there. The key to the Patreon, you have to give people, you can't just let them pay you money. You have to give some. Yeah. I'm trying to give some. Nobody's like watching stuff. I'm like, guys, you paying. A lot of people just want to support, right? Yeah. Some people want something back. Like, yeah, I'm posting stuff. I'm doing giveaways, something. All my exclusive Patreon videos get like 2 to 3 views. And I have 45 patrons there. 42 people are just kind of giving me the money and want nothing in return. But quickly,
they're real supporters. Yeah,
I have not arm wrestled sober in a year. and a
Really?
half, right? And every tournament I went to, I have never been sober in past like year and a half, right?
Fascinating. Fascinating.
So I lost to Jamie fairly sober. Then I went. Arizona is a legal state. I went bought me a pre-roll. I filmed. So my patrons get to see it. I'm outside of the expo. And I'm like, I'm about to smoke this joint. I'm about to smoke my competition. Watch it right now. I go, I crush everybody left-handed. I ask Bill, hey, Bill, can you have a break? He's like, well, your camera is dying or like whatever. I'm like, no, I'm trying to go outside.
That's crazy.
So I'm going finishing off, go to the finals, kill everybody. And like, it just looks so awesome because like, I have my ideas about THC and, changing our.
Some people say that. Yeah. I just made a video about marijuana. Some people were saying they perform better on it. I never noticed that myself.
Messes up. Oh, it's not messes up, but I mean, I guess it affects your central nervous system, right?
Weakens it a bit, right?
I don't know about it weakens it. I think it's because it affects it. I don't really know if it weakens it really or not. Just because it has an effect to it, I feel like people have a theory about it reseking it and stuff. My biggest win in arm wrestling probably was like left-handed. I beat Chad Silvers almost off the couch, right? But I took a big rest that week. I didn't do anything for like a week and a half. I ate great food all week. We went to a little vacation to Key West. Ate great food, fresh, fishes and stuff and like that. A day before, I got a good dinner. I popped like an edible. I was on another planet. Like that's the day before, after a good dinner, the edible will kill me, right? And I feel like the next day, I think that edible kind of did something with my CNS to maybe, I feel like it reset it.
Yeah, that's true. You relaxed a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. It's my, don't trust me. Don't repeat after me. You're the guy to know. Yes, I'm a redneck that assuming stuff, right? I always compete great after good dinner Friday night and edible, and then the next day
But explain something to me. Even when I was using a lot of marijuana, if I ate the edible, I got more munchies than if I smoked weed. Do you notice that? I would eat now I have no tolerance. So if I took an edible, I would eat everything in the house. I would probably injure myself. Genuinely.
Yes.
I think it has sort of a localized effect maybe on the stomach or something.
Have you ever tried Rick Simpson oil?
No, I've heard of it.
Our associate range, because it's very different, right? You get a little bit mind high, but it's so heavy on your body, right? A good friend of mine that he's the guy that kind of actually gets me most of the stuff. He said he believes in Rick Simpson because he's older, he's in 50s, he's trying to arm wrestle, many pains. He said Rick Simpson is the only thing that helped him in arm wrestling, right? He have no pain after all the stuff simply because of that. I'm like, okay, I've tried it. You get such a heavy body high. Not meant you're gonna feel high, but it's more about your body. It's different feeling, and I feel like that gives me a bunch of munchies. But
I'll tell you, I have I had a client who was a major marijuana investor, like one of the biggest in the world. So this guy, he thought it'd be nice to me, so he sent me a box of CBD. Like each one had 6,000 milligrams, but a huge box. Probably cost $5,000.
You were saying, because when you told me this thing in the message, you cut off. This guy 1,000. I'm like, I don't know what he ever gave.
He sent me the CBD. I drank it because I wanted to know, because I couldn't afford the CBD, and the doses required in the studies are like 300 milligrams, and CBD is quite expensive. Now when I had all this, I was like, okay, let me find out what this really does. So I drank a bit. I ended up drinking another bottle. I drank, by the way, interestingly, if you take too much of it, it's a stimulant. Interestingly, a little bit stimulant, but I didn't feel that body high that I felt from like a good kush or something like that. It's not as relaxing as actual marijuana with high CBD.
Well, I read super scammy looking article by Tommy Chong, or either one. Is it? Yeah. I think super scammy looking article, like one of those like salesman looking like thing. By the end, he's selling you his like nano CBD, but in the meantime, in the article, which I don't know if it's true because it just was such a terribly like looking article. Super salesmanish, right? But I was committed. I was reading the before he will sell you his nano CBD, right? The problem he said that CBD which, see, I don't know if it's true because of the article, but I'm going to still say it. But he was saying that back in the days, his CBD worked so much better than nowadays before it became a thing, really, because he said that people don't like CBD nowadays because they're taking it wrongly. Because he said he went to the doctor and he said CBD is two things. It's dosage and the delivery, which, as you said, you can't just do your like little 25, 10 CBD.
Yeah, it's high dose.
It has to be high dosage for it to affect your body.
That's true.
Delivery. He said delivery was an important point. And for his case, he said the best way. What's the best way to consume anything in our body?
Best for what reason? You know, the thing is, like, for example, when you
to take something, there's a couple best ways. The number one, injection.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It depends what you're trying to do. You can localize it. So, for example, if you smoke it, or if you put it in your nose, you'll get a lot more in your brain. You know what I mean? Whereas if you eat it, he was injecting it?
No. So he was saying, well, basically he was saying the problem, it's delivery, right? That's what people,
that's true. That could be
injection, I guess inhalation. And then I forgot the term, but when you put it under your tongue, right?
Yeah, sublingual, yeah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Taking it orally as a thing is like number 15 on the list, right? Which the same thing that goes to like supplements and pills and whatever, right? So what his CBD affected him really, really good in his time, but not his CBD he was taking because he got it in a vaporized form.
That's what I was thinking. That would be better.
Inhaling it constantly. And that way, what happens, as you know, if you just take CBD orally, those 300 milligrams, right?
It gets broken down and spread across your body, not localized in your nervous system.
By you go through the liver takes it, and you know by how much gets into your body. I don't know. I guess by inhaling, it kind of it bypasses the liver by inhaling.
With that said, though, I drank like 12,000 one night, maybe more than that milligrams. So I know at that point it's gonna get in your brain, right? And I just tell you, it's overhyped. It's not the level of relaxation. Because remember, there are so many cannabinoids in weed. It's not just CBD and THC.
Yeah.
I think so. Some of the other ones are involved somehow, but I don't know exactly. Yeah. But this was a very fun discussion. The audience learned much more about both of us, I think. Anyway,
I'm just hoping my mom doesn't watch this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll keep it secret. All right, brother. Listen, I'll let you be for. Tell me.
Let me just finish about the thing because by the end of the article, he was just trying to sell his nano CBD that supposedly his CBD
nano delivery
bypasses the liver. That's what he's saying. But I'm like, you already told me I can inhale the shit. I don't need to buy that. Because there's a company called I'm not going to say the name of the company because I don't really know how cool it is. There's companies that sell CBD products and pre-rolls and stuff. I've smoked a CBD you can buy a pack. They look like cigarettes, but they're CBD. It's a pack of CBD cigarettes. You take it out. You smoke one of the CBD on its own, the whole thing. You'll get a feeling. You'll not get like super high, but you'll get a good feeling out of it to where your body condition is changed. Not to significant degree, but it did. And I'm like, you know what? That's how I was inhaling it. I don't get no nano CBD. I might just going to come back and get my nose one of the CBD things.
True. So, we should tell the audience also, I have a very comprehensive review of marijuana on the channel. If you just search marijuana on Leo Longevity, you'll find a comprehensive review of how CBD is potentially neuroprotective in the brain exactly, and how THC is neurotoxic. Just if people are curious.
You just made the video or you posted it?
I made that video like a year ago, but I just made a video on quitting marijuana because a lot of people are asking. That
one. I was like, I saw it. I'm like,
a lot of people are asking because some people, they smoke like I used to all day. And then when you stop, you get surprised, especially if you're a young guy, 20 years old, you don't know what to expect. You get anxious and so on. So I made that video for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't have that. Like, I don't really have that much of an addiction thing in my head because I was trying to become addicted to drinking and alcohol. I can't do that. I'm living beers half open.
And you're hanging out with people that drink beer very well. John Brzenk and Todd Hutchings. It's not catching on with you. I don't know why. I love beer.
Weed kind of does, but I almost feels like I don't know. I feel like I have the addiction problem, but at the same time, me and Lindsay get into that once in a while. Like I haven't smoked like in I don't know, for 24, 48 hours, but I don't feel like it's changed me too much. I feel like I can quit, but I do feel I don't have like this draw like I need to go, but I'm like I have a feeling that like, I mean like
It's something to look forward to at the end of the day, right?
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then when you don't do it, you're like, wait, I was looking forward to something. So you go eat or you do something else, you know?
yeah. So that's kind of the thing. It's kind of I feel like it is like addiction within me, but I mean like
Not dependency, but just a desire. Yeah.
yeah. But I mean I don't know if I'm just kind of trying to trick my body like, hey, I'm not addicted, or like, hey, like I'm looking into that. Like I'm pretty much addicted to things. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe it is a sketchy
It's
subject.
the most harmless drug. I mean, hedonistic drug. I think two are the most harmless. Like there's one called GHB, much safer than alcohol if you dose it right, not as liver toxic and so on. The other one's marijuana. These are of all the hedonistic drugs I ever used, these were the two that were the least dangerous. And I used everything, you know, so I've tried everything. Those are the two that are the least dangerous. I have a lot of expertise in that field. Anyway, brother, I'll let you be because I'm going to go prepare for the Boston podcast. We have a guest on today. But next week, I'll chat with you on Monday. Make sure that you're free. And if not, we'll do on the weekend.
I'm not. We are driving to New York from Tuesday until next Tuesday. So next week I'm out.
Okay.
Driving to New York. So if you want to do something before that, like this weekend, we can do something just to record.
That would be, yeah. So we can continue the discussion about the joints. We could do this weekend. Let's do this weekend. We'll confirm on the weekend and then skip a week and do after. All right, brother. I'll let you be.
All right, thank you, sir.
Great pleasure catching up with you, Arthur. I missed you, brother. It's good to talk to you.
You too. Thanks everybody for watching. Leo, thanks for having me. And yeah, we had a great conversation. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
See you soon. Say hi to your girlfriend, brother.
All right, I'll do that. She just got home from the gym and I'm gonna go to the gym.
You have to start going. We need the vendetta for Jamie.
I went yesterday and day before. So I was like, today's a good skip day. You know?
Me too. I've been going to the gym. Today's my off day also.
Yeah, that's not my thing. I try to go 6 days a week. And if I skip one, I'm still going 5. It's not that bad.
I mean, it depends how much you're burning your nervous system, but you need a day off every so often, for sure. Anyway, brother, I'll let you be. We'll talk soon.